Hello and welcome back to LearnCloud.live. I am Pratham and I am thrilled to have you here with me today. In our previous video, we have covered so far how to create tenant or directory in Azure, how to manage Azure tenant, what is the use case scenario of Azure tenant, how to switch between Azure tenants, clean up resources, delete Azure tenants. If you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend to checking it out before diving into today's topic. You can find the link in the top right corner by clicking on the I button. This video's agenda will be how to create custom domain name, how to verify domain in Azure, how to create a new user with custom domain name. We'll follow these steps. We'll log into portal.azure.com and search for custom domain name. We'll add domain name. Then we will verify domain by adding MX or TXT records from domain service provider panel. We'll add new user with new domain name. We'll follow this way. We'll open Azure Active Directory, click on users, then we will click on new users, and then we'll create a new user. Finally, we will log into Azure portal with the new user credentials. Let's see what it really looks like. Okay, I will log in with portal.azure.com. This is my test tenant account, which is already logged in. So I'll click on ask later. It is asking again for the multi-factor authentication. No. I'll search for domain name. Once we open custom domain name, we can see we have a default domain name learncloud827.onmicrosoft.com. We wanted our custom domain name. For that, I will click on add custom domain name. I'll type my own domain, which is learncloud.live. Once I enter that, it's showing check mark, which means the domain is right. I'm going to click on add domain. Once I click on add domain, I have these records available, TXT and MX record. One of them I can add to the domain service provider. For that, I need to log in my domain service provider, which is Hostinger in my case. So let me quickly log in Hostinger. Open the link. Log in. Click on login. Let me log in on Hostinger account. I do not want it right now to enable multi-factor authentication on this one as well. I'll cancel it. I am going to click on manage for web hosting. I have my domain, which is showing website name. I'll search for advanced option. I'll click on DNS zone editor, and I can add those records which we have seen on Azure portal. Each and every domain services must have a different way to open these settings. So you can check out with your domain service provider. Now I'm going to add those records over here. I'll add TXT records. I have an alias or a host name is @ so we'll select TXT and type. Select TXT and the name is @ so alias or host name is already @. Now destination or point to address, I'll copy this. I put into this TXT value. Then I'll copy TTL value, which is 3600. I'll copy this one and I'll put it over here. Once I have all the information, let me click on add records. DNS record created successfully. Now I'll click to verify. Verify domain name successfully verified. Verification succeeded. It shows an option make primary. So if I click on make primary, it will be my primary domain name. What we have so far completed. So we have completed this step. We have added domain name. Verify domain by adding mx in txt record. We have completed that too, and the domain has been added. Add a new user with new domain name. For that we have to go to Azure Active Directory, then users, new users, create new users. I'll do the same. I'll click on home. I'll find Azure Active Directory over here, or I can just search it this way, Azure Active Directory. So option is here. Now I'll click on users. I'll click on new user. I'll click on create new user. Okay, so we can see learncloud.live is now showing as domain, and if we'll click on this drop down menu, we have two options. One is learncloud827.onmicrosoft.com, or we have learncloud.live. This one, learncloud827.onmicrosoft.com, we have created the test account with Azure. On that time we got this account as default. So now as we have created learncloud.live as primary, so whenever I create a new account, it will be created with this one, or we can switch it later on if you have multiple domain names. So now I'm going to create, for this test I'm going to create Ajay at learncloud.live, display name Ajay Verma, password is auto generated. I do not want an auto generated password. I'll give my custom password. Let's see if it's been taken. Auto enabled, yes. Let me click on next. Now these are the details which we have to fill up. The first name is Ajay, the last name is Verma, member. It's a member, not a guest. Rest details we can fill it up later, but there's a one mandatory thing, which is usage location. We have to choose this one, otherwise account will not be created. So we have to choose India or your location. Now I'll click on next for the assignment. I do not have any assignment. I do not want it right now to add this user with any group. I'll click on next, and I'll click on create. Alright, let me refresh it and we'll see the user will be created. Okay, we can see the Ajay at learncloud.live is created now. Let's see what we have covered so far. So we have covered this point as well. Now we have to log in the last point, which is login on Azure with new user credentials. So what I will do, I'm going to log out. Now I will log in back with the new credentials. Okay, let me refresh it because I just signed out. Let me open a new tab. Let me close the previous one. Portal.azure.com. No, I do not want this account. I want a different account. Use a different account. Another account. My account which I have created, which is Ajay at learncloud.live. I'll click on next. Password. When IT admin creates an account, user needs to create a new password on the first login. So let me click on sign in. I gave a wrong password. Let me try again. Okay, as I said, I have to provide current password. Now I need to provide a new password. Confirm. Okay, let me click on sign in. Ask me later. Great. The account has been logged in. So we have covered the fifth step as well. And that's a wrap for today's video with learncloud.live. I hope you found this content valuable and that it helps you on Azure learning journey. In the next video, we'll be covering how to associate an Azure subscription with Azure Tenant. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more in-depth tutorials on cloud technologies. Just like this one, by subscribing, you will stay up to date with the latest development in Azure ecosystem. If you have any questions or suggestions for our upcoming videos, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Your feedback is very important to us. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great time.